Hey guys, I've got another Will I Buy It video for you today, and these videos are inspired by the wonderful and beautiful Samantha March. Thank you to her for coming up with this idea, and let's just jump right into it. So I just want to mention that I probably look a little odd. I am doing a full day foundation wear test for the Sicily Latent foundation, and that is probably going up right after this video. So when I do foundation tests, I don't like to put that much makeup on top of it because I want to see, and I want you guys to see how the foundation wears, you know, pretty much all by itself. So I have like loose powder on one side of my face. I only have eyebrow, blush, and lip gloss on. That's it. So I probably look a little bit like a bald eagle at the moment, but that's okay because we're just chatting today. We're talking about some new releases, and it's funny. It was like I posted my last Will I Buy It, I think last Wednesday, so about a week and a half ago, and I felt like as soon as I posted that video, all this like new stuff came out. All right, the first thing I want to mention, and this is, I mean, it's news. It's not really a new release per se, but this is the Sephora credit card. I think it has like the Visa logo attached to it, so it's not something you can only use at Sephora. So I think that is definitely a benefit, a plus to it. But when I saw this, my first reaction was like, oh, no. I think this is just a really, really bad idea. I'm thinking about my 20-year-old self getting my greedy little paws on a Sephora credit card and just jacking my credit up to high heaven. So I would say unless you have an iron grasp on your finances, to just stay far, far away from this. I can't emphasize enough. It's like you have to know yourself really well. And for me, at the age of 45, so it's taken me a very long time to come to this realization, I personally have to function on debit. I have to personally function on a cash-only basis. If I start getting enticed by, oh, well, I'll get points, I'll get mileage, I'll get cash back, all of these things really start to mess with my psyche. So I just do not use credit cards anymore. So that's the way I keep myself out of trouble. And I think if you don't have a really, really, like I just said, an iron grasp on your finances, I just think that this is such a bad idea. And I don't know. They haven't come out with this information, but I'm going to guess that the APR on this is something outlandish like 24.99% or whatever they can get away with. These are very high percentages and very, very normal for credit cards. I mean, you just don't want to pay for money to buy things with. It just doesn't make any sense. Unless you are absolutely positive that you're going to pay that off every single month, I just feel like this is such a bad idea. So anyway, when I first saw this card, I was like, oh my God. I'm like, our economy is going to crash simply based on this Sephora card. Just be careful out there. Spend wisely. All right, I'm going to kick this off with some Tom Ford. So as soon as I posted last week's Will I Buy It about the Soleil collection, all of a sudden, what popped up was the Emotionproof eyeline. I think it's either Emotionproof or Motionless. I think it's Emotionproof. Anyway, this popped up and I was so intrigued. There's a concealer, there are some cream eyeshadows, there is an eye primer, a new eye primer, a mascara, and some new eyeliners. And they appeared on Saks, on the Saks.com site. I went ahead and pre-ordered it. They said that the expected delivery was March 15th. And so I pre-ordered a whole bunch of it. I was really curious about it. And then all of a sudden I kept getting these emails from Saks basically saying that like the expected delivery date is like being pushed back further and further. I still haven't received anything. I got, pending charges on my debit card and then those fell off. So I haven't even been charged for these things yet. So I know they haven't shipped. I'm really excited for this Tom Ford concealer. I had the original. I actually just decluttered it because it was so old. I was like, there's no way this is still good. It had the little clicky bottom. It had like the sponge tip applicator at the top. and I really liked it. Then they reformulated that, and I heard it wasn't as good. I never purchased it because I still had plenty of the original, and I heard it wasn't as good, and a lot of people were really disappointed that they, reformulated, etc. So when I saw this new concealer, which looks like it comes in a little bottle, I don't know if it's going to have a doe foot applicator or what's going on top, but I've only seen pictures of it, fully enclosed. But I'm really excited for that. I'm hoping that they've come out with a really great formula. This whole line is called Emotionproof. So I think everything is waterproof, long lasting. I think they're all in this vein. The eye primer, I'm also very excited for. I have the eye primer that comes with the primer, like the cream primer at the bottom, and then it has the flip top with the powder, like setting powder on top. I like that one. I think that one's fine. I don't think it is anything extraordinary. I don't think it's anything terribly special. I use it on occasion when I even remember to use an eye primer, but it was never anything that I was like, oh my God, you need to run out and get. So I am very interested in this. Again, a very long lasting eye primer is very interesting to me. There's also a mascara. I'm not really a mascara connoisseur, but one of my favorite mascaras is the Tom Ford Extreme Mascara. I just like the quality of that mascara. The consistency of the actual mascara formula doesn't change, like from the day you open it to the day it dies. It's like very, very consistent. Unlike most mascaras that I've experienced where they're a little bit wet when you open them, and then they have like a sweet spot after like they've been open for a week, and then they dry and turn into flaky messes at like the last days of its life. This never happened with the Tom Ford mascara. It's just very consistent, and I liked it. I liked the wand of the mascara, so I'm very interested in this one. I want to see if it's changed, if it's updated at all, if it's any better. That would be very interesting. And then the cream shadows. So I ordered 6 of these. There are quite a few. I don't remember how many there are. I was going to go to the SAC site and look it up for you guys, but it's not there anymore. So there were quite a few. I want to say there was maybe 10 or 12, and I'm incredibly interested in these because currently the Tom Ford cream shadows are very moussey. They have a similar, if not almost the same kind of formula to the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize cream shadows. Very moussey, very, very creamy, very unlike the Chanel Ombre Premiers or even the Chantecaille cream shadows. Those are dense, they're more putty-like, and these look to be more like that. So I'm very, very curious about that. The Tom Ford cream shadows currently, I really enjoy, but I find them to be a little bit messy because of that moussey texture. Like you have to be pretty careful with its application. Like I always have to tap my brush into it, and tap it, like distribute it onto my lid first and then kind of blend it out. Where with like the Chanel Ombre Premiers, where it's that putty, I just need to get some on my brush and then I can just swipe it on. For me personally, a much easier formula to use. So I think by the looks of these cream shadows, I think that these are more along the lines of that Ombre Premier kind of formula. They look a little bit denser in the picture, so I'm really, really excited for those. And then there's a new eyeliner. It looks like a twist-up eyeliner. I think they're waterproof. There's some fun colors in there. So I ordered 2 or 3 of those. I am a big fan, as you guys probably know, of the Tom Ford Eye Kohl Intense. Those are like the more basic eye pencils that you have to sharpen. They have like the wood barrel. And I only have a couple of his current like high definition gel liners that you have to twist up. That formula was okay. Wasn't my favorite. So I'm curious about these. I wonder if these will kind of glide on a little bit more easily than the other twist up ones. The other twist up ones, I would get, product onto my lid, but they take a little bit to get onto my lid. Anyway, so I'm hoping these are a little bit creamier, a little bit smoother. They're supposed to be emotion proof, then I hope they are super long lasting. So I'm really excited for this Tom Ford eye release. I will definitely get a video up as soon as I get these products, but I really don't know what the situation is. And then just a flashback to last week's where I talked about Tom Ford's Soleil collection for this summer 2019 season. These items just popped up on Beautylish. I posted it to my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, you should. I try and post new releases, at least the ones that are important to me, up on my page, just to let you guys know when things are made available. So this Soleil collection is now available on Beautylish. Not all of the colors and not all of the pieces are there. Like the blush duo isn't there yet. A lot of the cream eyeshadows aren't there yet. But I did end up purchasing like one of the new lip products. I did get the new bronzer. This bronzer is reformulated from the 2 previous versions of the Tom Ford bronzer. So I did get the small one in Gold Dust because I just want to see what this formula is about. I got that gold color changing lip product just because it looks super cool. So I got a bunch of stuff from that collection, and I will definitely be doing a video on that when it comes. I actually just got the shipping notification from Beautylish, so that should be delivered soon, and hopefully I'll get a video up on that maybe mid next week. I think that's probably when it's going to pop up. Oh, so before I forget to mention, there are a couple things that are part of this Tom Ford Soleil collection that have not popped up on Beautylish. One is the face palette. I don't know the size of this because in this picture it looks like it's going to be the size of the blush duo, which is the smaller compact. He has the bigger compacts and the smaller ones. It looks like it's going to be the smaller one, but generally when they do the face palettes for the summer collection, they're in the bigger ones. So I don't know if it was just to kind of fit into this picture here. And then there's also going to be like a cushion product that has not popped up yet either. So I am very curious about both of those products that have not appeared yet, and I will definitely be picking them up once they do pop up. So next we have what's coming out from La Mer for the summertime. So usually they come out with some sort of bronzing powder and then maybe a few other items. It's never a giant collection. It's always pretty small, and it's always generally centered around this bronzing powder. So I just saw pictures of this, and it's actually available for pre-order on Saks.com. So I pre-ordered the bronzing powder off of Saks.com, but I personally skipped the lip volumizer, I think, is the other product that they're basically releasing. So these 2 products are new, and then they also have their lip balm, which is a re-promote. That's part of their regular line. I already have their lip balm, which I like. I did a top 5 lip balms that did not appear in there. I like the ones that I mentioned more. The La Mer lip balm I think is fine. I think it's fine. I definitely use it. I like it. But for me personally, it just doesn't do anything that magical on my lips. It feels nice, for sure. Lip volumizers, I generally pass on, so I did not order this. I don't like a minty, that tingly sensation on my lips. I suffer from eczema and I get it on my lip, and so I just don't like that feeling. It makes me feel like my eczema is coming up, and the mint actually would probably kind of irritate my lips and bring out my eczema, so I avoid those products. But I did end up pre-ordering the bronzing powder off of Saks, and it looks like within that one pan there looks to be like 3 different shades of the bronzer. It goes from like a light medium to a very, very light bronzer, at least from the looks of this one picture. So like in the past, I feel like this bronzing powder is probably good for someone with my skin tone, probably not good for anyone with a deeper skin tone. I wish they would come out with like 2. Like one for light medium and one for medium dark skin tones. I think that would be so smart of them, but we'll see. I can't even tell from this picture if there's any shimmer or anything. And the expected delivery date for this, I think, was like in May, mid-May. So I don't think I'll be seeing this for quite some time, but these products are starting to pop up on online retailers. All right, so just a quick mention, Hermes is coming out with a beauty line. So this is not coming out until 2020. So we have, I believe, more than a year to wait. An insider told me that it's probably coming out in like June or July of next year. They're going to start with a lip product, and then they're going to be releasing like new things every month. So this is very, very exciting to me. I'm a huge, huge fan of Hermes, and I'm just really curious what they have up their sleeve. And then there's a lot of Guerlain stuff. So I mentioned their terracotta line in last week's video. There's like a face palette. It looks like there's going to be a highlighter stick, a foundation stick, and maybe like a loose powder in a little puff container. So it looks like there's going to be another terracotta wooden collector. I have the one from last year. It's called the Route des Îles, and it's beautiful. It smells like terracotta, their terracotta scent, which is so lovely. It just smells like the beach. I don't feel like it smells like coconut per se. I don't feel like it smells like suntan lotion per se. It just smells like the beach. It has such a warm, sandy, salty water kind of scent. I just love it. I love it. So I'm really excited for this. I really like the wooden compact. It's really beautiful. And this year's wooden compact looks like it's going to be like a little bit lighter in tone, like an ashy kind of wood. Last year's was a very warm toned, orange-based kind of wood color. So I'm really excited for this. The inside of the pan looks absolutely gorgeous. It has like a paisley imprint on there, and it has like this gold on top. The gold definitely looks like overspray, so I'm not going to get too excited, but it looks like they have a bronzer, and then the paisley looks like it's a blush. So there's like a pink portion there. So it just looks really pretty. This is definitely a collector's item, and I'm a big fan of these. So I'm definitely going to be picking that up. And then they also come out with these terracotta bronzers in these tins, and these are collectibles as well. I also have last year's, and this one I don't use that often, not as much as the Root de Zile, but these look really beautiful. Looks like there's two versions of this. I don't really know the difference. Maybe the top one, the one with the green on the lid, looks a little bit darker. Maybe that's the difference. The bottom one looks a little bit lighter. If that's the case, I'll probably just pick up the bottom one. But again, that gold is definitely just overspray. I think that pink goes all the way through. So it's like a bronzer on the outside and then like a pink blush on the inside. It's just really beautiful. And if you're a Guerlain Terracotta fan, this is definitely something you're going to want to pick up. So I'll be picking up one of these. I don't think I'll need. I don't think I'll get both. And then more from Guerlain. I know they also came out with new Rouge G cases. I think they have a few new lip colors. I'm going to have to take a look at these and see if there's anything unique about them. Maybe if they have like a little bit of shimmer to them or something going on. The cases look really pretty. Looks like there's a pink one and like a pearlized cream color one. I don't think I need them. I will probably pass on those. We'll see. But it looks like, oh, actually I missed this the first time I looked at it, but it looks like there's a new Pearls Collector. Oh yeah, really tiny. So Meteorites Pearls Collector. It looks like it's gonna have that paisley design on the actual case. And then inside it looks like they're gonna have a gold, pink, a more golden, and then like a champagne colored pearl. So that looks beautiful. I will definitely be picking that up for sure. And then this actually looks very, very interesting to me. I feel like they released something like this years ago. So I don't know if this is the same thing that they're just coming back out with. Maybe I made that up. Maybe I dreamt it. I'm not exactly sure. If anyone knows, please comment down below in the comment section. But I'm talking about the Meteorites Glow Cushion. So it looks like what we have is a compact with like a cushion design. So you have that lid on top, but then underneath it looks like a netting with teeny tiny meteorites in there. I think that would be perfect for travel. I think that looks like so much fun. I hope this comes to the US. I should mention that I follow a lot of like European beauty sites off of Instagram, and sometimes they post stuff and it never makes it over here, but I hope that makes it over here. And then over on the right hand side of this picture, there's the Meteorites Bubble Blush. I'm not sure what that's about. Again, this picture is so tiny. It says it's a gel blush. I think for me, it's going to have to depend on the packaging. I don't know how that's encased. It has to be kind of easy to use. So we'll have to see on that. And then it looks like they're coming out with an SPF 30, which I probably will not get from Guerlain. I will probably just pick up some SPF at Walgreens. So I'll probably pass on that. But it looks like Guerlain is coming out hard and strong for this summer season. I'm really, really excited for all of these. All right, and it looks like Melt is coming out with the brand new Melt Stack. These look to be like all shimmers that have maybe like a duochrome to them. So there's gonna be 4 shades. I have a lot of Melt Stacks and I really do like their mattes. Their shimmers are okay. So I'm very curious about this, but their stuff really, really sells out very quickly. So I don't even know if I'll be able to get my hands on this, but this is definitely very, very interesting to me. I really like that second from the top shade. It looks like kind of like a yellowy green. That one looks really, really cool. And it doesn't look like there's a release date yet, but probably within the next month is my guess. That looks kind of neat. And then it looks like Fenty Beauty is coming out with some new body lavas. I tried the one that she came out with last year. I did not like it. I'm trying to remember why. I think it was the texture of it. I think it was a little bit like sticky on the skin. And then I think it did kind of like eventually set down, but it just didn't, I don't know, it just didn't like feel good. I thought it was going to be more of like a dry body oil, but it didn't. It had a lot more to it. It wasn't like an oil. It was I don't know, it's hard to explain, but there was definitely something more to it, and I did not like the texture of it. So I'm definitely going to be passing on those. All right, and Pat McGrath is giving us some more eyeshadows. She's releasing the Idols single shadows. So there's going to be 17 shades available as these single shadows, and I believe only 6 of them are brand new. They're going to be, let's see, $25 each. I think if you've been curious about her eyeshadows and maybe you just want to try 1 or 2, this could be the way to go. She also just came out with that Eye Ecstasy kit, which I reviewed. If you get 2 of these singles, which is $50, the Eye Ecstasy kit is $48, and you get, I mean, much smaller pans, obviously, but you get 6 shadows in there. If you want to try Pat McGrath shadows, that could be a good route too. But since I have all of her palettes, I have all of the existing shades. So when I was looking at Tantalia's page, I think out of the new ones, there was maybe 4 or 5 that I liked. So I'll be definitely picking up some of these newer ones. And from another shot that actually a friend of mine sent me, the pans look like they're removable from the packaging. So if you want to kind of create your own palette, I think it'll be easy to do with these single shadows. But Pat McGrath is coming out consistently with a lot of eyeshadows. I wish she would start coming out with maybe some blushes, maybe some more powder highlighters. I know she has that trio, maybe singles or something. I don't know, maybe just some other products to kind of expand her line a little bit. I think that would be a lot of fun. I personally would love to see that from her. And then last week I talked about the Chanel Voyage palette, face palette. It's so beautiful, but I think I'm going to pass on this because I never ever end up using, well, at least I never end up using often and without a little bit of annoyance, these regularly sized pan palettes that are just split with all the different products in there. So it looks like there's a bronzer, a highlight, and 2 blushes all within this one palette. And I think it's just going to annoy me to try and get at one product and not the other. And I think you're just going to always kind of end up picking up other things. I don't know. I think I'm like 90% not going to get this, but I am very, very lured in by the prettiness of it. And I'm definitely a sucker for that. So anyway, all of this to say is this is now available on the Chanel site. I'm actually going to Caesars tonight for dinner, and they have a Chanel beauty boutique there. This one beauty boutique usually gets like the Chanel exclusives and everything there at the boutique. So I'm going to take a look at it in person if they have it, and we'll see. We'll see if I get it. All right, and last but not least, I want to talk about these powders from By Terry. I think these are highlighters. That's what I'm going to go with. And they have this beautiful like rose like imprint in the pan. They come in what looks like a baby pink metallic casing. They look really, really beautiful. I just don't know the specifics on this. If these are highlighters, I will definitely give them a shot. I'm a big fan of the By Terry powders that come in the Sun Designer palette. One of my favorite highlighters is one like zigzag chunk out of one of those Sun Designer palettes. I have one of her like compact duo expert powders, and in the center is like a lighter shade, and that's like a highlight, and it's so beautiful. So I'm generally a big fan of the By Terry like powder face products. So I'm really excited for this. Again, this is off of a European site. I do hope this is going to be released in the US. If it is, I will be jumping on this. They just look really, really beautiful. So just quickly, something I want to mention before I go, Sicily has basically reformulated and repackaged their anti-aging firming body cream. So it used to come in a big jar pot, and I've actually been using it, and I do want to give you guys a follow-up on it, but when it comes to skincare, it just takes me a really, really long time to form like a solid opinion and give you guys some feedback. But anyway, that's coming. So what they've done is they've put it into a squeezy tube, which I think is so much better. As much as I like the aesthetics of a pot, it's just not very hygienic. So it's now in a squeezy tube, and they've reformulated it. So there are some additional benefits in there. I don't really know the details, but there are some additional benefits to it. They've improved it. And they've also brought the price down. So I think probably the change in the packaging has brought the price down. So that's good news, but I just wanted to mention that. All right, so that's it for this video. Let me know down below in the comments section if there's some new releases that I missed that you would be curious to hear my thoughts on. I can talk about it in the next Will I Buy It video. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video.